All right, so I want to warn black people about these racist drug tests. And what makes drug tests racist is the protocol. And I'm talking about hair sampling. Hair sampling is a racist protocol companies use for their drug tests. And what makes hair sampling racist is that drugs linger in dark colored hair longer than blonde hair. So if you use drugs, or if you are around people who use drugs, or if you are in an environment where people use drugs, drugs will linger to dark colored hair longer than blonde hair. So for instance, if you are a drug user or around people who use drugs, drugs will get in your hair and drugs will remain in your hair for 3 months, regardless of what color your hair is. 3 months, that's 90 days, regardless of what color your hair is, drugs will remain in your hair regardless. However, though, if you have melanin in your hair, which means if your hair color is red, if your hair color is black, if your hair color is light brown, if your hair color is dark brown, drugs will remain in your hair for an extra 2 to 8 months. For an extra 2 to 8 months on top of those 3 months. When I say drugs, I'm talking about all forms of drugs from marijuana, THC, uh, cocaine, heroin, it don't matter. Morphine, street level drugs, prescription drugs, don't matter. However you can consume them, they will appear in your hair and remain in your hair even longer if you have melanin in your hair. So remember, no matter what color your hair is, drugs will stay in your hair for 3 months. 90 days, that's automatic. But when you have melanin in your hair, drugs will stay in your hair for an extra 2 to 8 months. It depends on you as an individual, on your own individual genetic situation, biological situation. But that's what it is. So let me share an example, right? In the 7 years between 1999 and 2006, 10 black police officers were fired from the Boston Police Department because they failed their drug tests, their hair sampling drug tests. Now, out of those 10 black police officers who were fired, 5 of them were fired in 2002 alone. Seven of those police officers were fired between 2001 and 2006. Now, in 2006, 3 of the 7 black police officers who were fired out of that original 10 sued the Boston Police Department for racial discrimination. Because none of these police officers were drug users, yet their drug test results came out positive for cocaine. Now, the reason why their drug test results came out positive for cocaine, although they were not drug users, is because you don't need to directly consume drugs in order for drugs to be detected in hair. Drugs can be detected in hair just from you being in an environment where people use drugs. Just from you being around somebody else who used drugs, drug debris can be detected in your hair. And that's what happened to these black police officers who were fired from the Boston Police Department. So, not only do drugs get in hair regardless, just whether you use drugs or not, but if you have melanin in your hair, drugs will remain in your hair even longer. So because drugs linger in dark colored hair 2 to 4 times longer than blonde hair, that's increasing the detection rate for these drug tests. So black job applicants and employees, because of our melanated hair, we have a higher drug detection rate when it comes to these hair sampling or these hair samples with these drug tests. So in other words, a lot more black people are being fired from work. A lot more black people are being turned down jobs because of false positive drug test results. So, like I said, in the 7 years between 1999 and 2006, there were 10 black police officers from the Boston Police Department who were fired because they failed their drug tests. And it was hair sampling for their drug tests. And out of those 10 who were fired, 7 were fired between 2001 and 2006. Out of the 7 who were fired between 2001 and 2006, 3 of them sued the Boston Police Department in 2003 and won their lawsuit for $6.2 million, which means each and every one of the 3 black police officers won over $650,000 in their lawsuit. For those of you who want to check out the lawsuit yourself, it was filed under Jones versus City of Boston. Jones was named after one of the 3 police officers who sued the Boston Police Department, Ronnie Jones. So Jones versus City of Boston, that's how you can find the lawsuit, and you can look up the whole entire situation and case yourself. And by the way, the reason why the black police officers won their lawsuit against the Boston Police Department is because there was an investigation that was complete, and it was proven that the hair sampling protocol for drug tests do discriminate against black job applicants and employees because drugs naturally are attracted to melanin in the hair. So because drugs are naturally attracted to melanin, drugs will easily be detected in black people's hair. So automatically the drug detection rate for these drug tests are going to show up positive a lot more for black job applicants and employees. And that's, increasing the unemployment rate for black people and maintaining the high unemployment rate for black people. This is why it's important that black people put ourselves in a position to be business owners, entrepreneurs. That way we can hire other black people. That way we can lower the unemployment rate in the black community. And, we need to stop relying on white people for jobs, because white people are going to be white people, which means white people are going to be racist. And, you know, white people are going to continue to, you know, pull off these different strategies to discriminate and, you know, show bias against black people. So it's in our best interest that we, you know, start relying on white people. We're the only race that relies on somebody else for our needs. And we start being, you know, independent as a race, racial independence. All right. So I hope you guys appreciate the video. Hope you guys appreciate the information. I'm Cali Red. I'm Cali with a K, Red with a double D. I'm recording this video in Southern California, SoCal. I'm in the Inland Empire. The Inland Empire consists of two neighboring counties, Riverside County and San Bernardino County. The Inland Empire is roughly around 40 to an hour away from, or 30 minutes to an hour away from LA. So, till the next video, black people, I love you. Be safe, stay blessed. Black power.